Hello everyone, I'm your hostess with the mostest, 8-Second Gaming, and Season 17 is almost done. We are just about able to wash our hands and be completely done with it and move on to Season 18, and I'm very excited to do so, and I hope you guys are too. But to help you guys get just as hyped as I am, we're going to be talking about everything that we know that's coming in Season 18, so you guys are just a little bit more aware. But just quickly before we actually dive on into the meat and potatoes, if you guys are looking to take your Apex skill to the next level, then you need to check out the GameLeap website right now. Over there we have top level coaches, including myself, creating the best, most highly informative guides to make you the best player you could possibly be. It doesn't matter if you're looking to drop 20 kills a game, get some 4K damage badges, hit new peak ranks, anything like that, we will be able to help you. So click the link in the description, pick yourself up a membership, and start to improve today. But okay, let's dive into things. There's actually quite a few things that we do know that's coming in Season 18, so let's start off with the most obvious one, and that is Revenant Reborn. We are not getting a new legend in Season 18, instead we are getting the rework to Revenant, and I'm pretty excited for this one. It does seem fairly cool. Now with Revenant Reborn, his kit is being completely reworked. His passive is kind of the same, but there's a little bit added on, but let's talk about all of his abilities. First off, his passive, Assassin's Instinct. With this, he is keeping his old passive abilities with the faster crouch walking speed and also his wall climbing ability. But they have added in a little bit more additional horizontal movement, giving you a little bit more creativity on how you actually want to scale a building or wall so you can surprise your enemies a little bit easier. It just adds to that movement that he has, makes him a little bit more unique, and gives you more freedom while doing so. But on top of that, there is now actually a second part to this passive, and anyone that dips below 40 health within 30 meters of you is going to be highlighted. But if Revenant is the one to get the person below that 40 health threshold, then you actually highlight this enemy for the entire team. Now me personally, I'm not too thrilled about that part because there's already way too many wall hack abilities in the game. I don't think that they need to be adding more, but objectively it is a pretty cool ability. Moving on to his tactical though, this is called Shadow Pounce. Now Revenant is not going to be able to have the silencing ability anymore. Quick side note, it is kind of funny, but on his character model, even with the Revenant Reborn, the silencing ability is still on his wrist, he just doesn't get to use it. His new tactical is a chargeable leap. You can tap it for a short range dash, or you can hold it down to get a massive jump. And it actually isn't on cooldown for that long, it's only 12 seconds. Now you don't actually have to jump at any specific target, so it will be nice as a getaway tool potentially, or even a nice gap closer. Plus, you can also immediately start to wall climb after this or even go into a wall bounce. Before, Revenant actually wasn't able to wall bounce because his passive conflicted with that, so this will be a lot cooler for some Revenant mains because you're actually going to be able to wall bounce now. Now this tactical is cool, it does add some nice ability to Revenant, but it's just Vantage's tactical. It is the exact same thing as Echo. You charge up a little bit and then you jump to a new location. And Vantage's tactical was already kind of a ripoff of Pathfinder's tacticals. Now I don't know if they're just running out of ideas or they just really like these types of gap closers. But before I go on a huge rant, which is actually going to be coming out in another video talking about my entire thought process on this Revenant Reborn stuff, so stay tuned for that. Let's move into his ultimate, which is Forged Shadows. Now this is kind of like a better version of his death totem. The death totem is no longer a thing. Your teammates are no longer getting the buff from this. Instead, what he does is create like a shadow force field around him that absorbs extra damage while he makes his push. These shadows last for 25 seconds and grant Revenant an additional 75 health. Now this does block melee, bullets, explosive damage, stuff like that, but it does not block AoE effects such as the effect of the ring, fire from thermite grenades, fire from Fuse's ultimate, or Caustic's Nox gas abilities. So there are still going to be some ways to get around this, and he's not going to be super OP. All in all, I do think that this Revenant Reborn is a great rework for Revenant. It's going to make him a lot better. But again, we're going to be having a video where I cover my entire thought process on this, so I don't really want to go too far into detail here and bloat this video. But it is coming in Season 18, so I had to cover it. Moving forward though, let's talk about the weapons in Season 18 because we're actually not getting a new weapon, but again, we are getting a rework. And this rework is to the charge rifle. Now, unlike Revenant, where he was pretty weak in the meta, the charge rifle has always been a problem child for Respawn. It's always been way too strong, and they haven't really been able to find a way to nerf it where that it isn't annoying and really hard to deal with. So instead of them continuing to have that issue, they're just going to completely rework it. Now, up until this point, the charge rifle was still the only hit scan gun in the game. Earlier seasons, the Havoc was able to be hit scanned, but it wasn't actually that good. But the charge rifle doing insane amounts of damage while being hit scanned and being very user friendly was making it way too easy and way too annoying. So going forward, they're actually reworking it into a projectile-based rail weapon of sorts. You're going to be able to charge it up akin to like a 30-30 or triple take, and after a short period of time, you're going to be able to release the projectile and do more damage based on how long you hold it. Now notice how I said it's going to be projectile because it is no longer going to be hit scan. Depending on how far away the target is, there is going to be bullet drop and there is going to be some leading that you're going to have to do. So it is going to be more like an actual sniper rifle now and not the hit scan menace that it was before. Now me personally, I was a charge rifle enjoyer. I loved that weapon. I was always putting it in S tier because it was just so strong. If you played a support, which I typically do play when I'm on a 3-stack or playing in scrims or tournaments, you would be able to support your team no matter the distance with the charge rifle because of how strong it was. You could keep people from pushing you, you could be aggressive with it because if you throw a 2-4 on it, it's good in a lot of medium range battles as well. So I am a little bit upset that I'm no longer going to have my baby, but I am pretty excited for these new charge rifle changes because some people have thrown it into R5 Reloaded and shown off what it's going to look like, and it seems like you might actually be able to still do some pretty decent damage with this. We do have to wait and see how much the damage is actually going to be like with the charge up times and stuff like that, but again, from the early playtesting that the R5 Reloaded people have done, it looks pretty solid. Now next up, we do have something that a lot of people were hoping for, and that is the changes to the rank system. I think everyone can agree the rank system in Season 17 is absolute horse crap. The majority of the player base making it into the top ranks is never a good sign. When there are over 1 million master players across all platforms, there's something wrong. If you were to take a look at like League of Legends or Dota or something like that, if the majority of their player base was making it into the top ranks, there would be mass panic. So throughout the season, we were really hoping that the devs were going to be commenting on it and saying, yeah, we messed up, but you know, we're going to be making some solid changes. But it doesn't seem like those solid changes are actually going to be coming in. The Apex devs did take to Reddit to say that they are going to continue forward with the current rank system with just a few tweaks here and there. They said, and I quote, "We felt prior systems were too focused on racking up kills and not focused on winning the match. We want to put focus on playing to win, and we feel the path we're pursuing now is headed in that direction. The current system is not perfect, but we will keep iterating on it to achieve our goal of putting focus on winning the match." Now with this quote, I am kind of conflicted because me personally, I do like the emphasis on higher placement points. I do think that in a battle royale, you should be focused on winning the game instead of killing people. The point of a battle royale is to be the last squad standing, but there needs to be that perfect balance of actually being able to kill people and still winning the game. It's a very hard thing to do, but when they did it in Season 13, that was kind of the closest that we actually got to a good rank system. The Season 13 rank system had such good emphasis on both. It wasn't perfect, but it was a lot better than what we have now. But the way that the system right now is working, it's just a little bit too skewed towards placement points, so you can just completely sit in a corner and still make it to a very high rank, and I don't like that. The playstyle that I like to have is you rotate towards zone and you have to hold that position. As teams move in and in and in with the ring, because the new ring is going to be doing a lot of damage, then you have to be able to show presence and hold your spot and force teams into different situations that they might not want to go in. It's essentially how ALGS is played. I really like that. I think it should be played more like that in a ranked scenario. That is how you get a more competitive environment, and ranked should be competitive. You are trying to see where you stack up against the other players in the game. Now, do I want this to be exactly like ALGS? No, absolutely not. I want them to reward both styles of play. If you want to be more aggressive, you should be awarded for that. But if you want to be more focused on ring and more passive and hold positions and wait for endgame, you should also be rewarded. But what kind of rank playstyle do you think should be rewarded the most? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you guys want to stay up to date with the latest greatest Apex Legends tips, tricks, and news, don't forget to smash the like and subscribe button. Thank you all for watching. Once again, I made Second Game, and I'll see you guys in the next one.